Well, Muslims in the U.S. and around the world are facing a very different Ramadan celebration this year, with the start of the holy month coming during a pandemic. For the first time in Islam's 1,400-year history, the religion's two holiest cities are closed to the public during Ramadan. The Grand Mosque in Mecca was at limited capacity for the first night, restricted to mosque staff, including clerics, security personnel, and cleaners. One of the mosque imams urged worshippers to pray for an end to the coronavirus pandemic. CBS News correspondent Imtiaz Tyab joins me now from our London bureau to talk more about how Ramadan is being celebrated with much of the world under lockdown. Imtiaz, thank you so much for joining us. How exactly are Muslims in the UK finding ways to celebrate during this pandemic?
Reena, good to talk to you. Well, like so many of us who are self-isolating and social distancing, here in the UK, many British Muslims will be, well, you guessed it, turning to technology, not only to stay in contact with loved ones, but also so they can continue to share in the nightly fast-breaking meal known as iftar together. That, of course, is a big family meal. Loads of people normally go out, get together, but when you're stuck at home by yourself, it's something many, again, are going to do online. As well, online, we're going to see video prayers and sermons being organized. Well, some say they plan on donating the money they might have otherwise spent on hosting large dinners to give to charities that assist those affected by the coronavirus. But the message to British Muslims from other well-known British Muslims is to stay at home. Celebrities like Star Wars actor Riz Khan and the London Mayor Sadiq Khan have joined forces in this video with that very message to help stop the spread of the coronavirus, which has killed nearly 20,000 people here in the UK alone.
I love that idea of people saving the money that they would for iftar dinners to help donate it. What a great cause and what a great thing to do. You know, there are parts of the world where mosques are still open. What are the risks for people who live in a community where the mosques are still open?
Yeah, it's a really complicated one. We have to remember, Reena, in Islam, praying in congregation, especially during Ramadan, which has special prayers known as Tarawih, it's seen as a real blessing to be able to pray together. And while most Muslim countries are enforcing strict lockdowns and in some cases have closed mosques entirely, that's not the case in one country. That country is Pakistan, where the government has had to compromise with very powerful clerics there by lifting a ban on group prayers during the holy month. They say that there are conditions that will be in place, including keeping children and older people at home. And they say that worshippers must wear masks and keep 6 feet apart when at the mosque praying. But doctors in Pakistan are warning that those measures just aren't good enough and are, frankly, far too difficult to enforce, and are worried that the virus, which until now has had a relatively limited impact on Pakistan, will soon start spreading like wildfire there.
You know, that is always a big concern for every country. I look at Iran, a country that's faced 5,000 deaths to coronavirus. What are they doing during Ramadan?
Yeah, it's a really devastating situation for so many Iranians, and the fear that the coronavirus death toll there is far greater than what their government has admitted to publicly. Whatever the case, most Iranians say they too plan to make the best out of this challenging situation, despite their leadership enforcing lockdowns and movement restrictions. But we have to remember, Reena, Iran is still struggling under other issues as well. That, of course, is quite strict U.S. sanctions, which has for many months seen a really sharp uptick in tensions with the United States, and it certainly has persisted throughout this pandemic. We've seen a number of tweets from the Iranian foreign minister criticizing President Trump, and that really seems to overshadow everything there.
Yeah, it certainly does. Imtiaz, on a lighter note, can you tell us about this UK boy who took matters into his own hands when mosques were closed in the United Kingdom?
Yes, let me tell you about little 8-year-old Yahya. He's a schoolboy from Bradford in Yorkshire, which is in northern England. He's created his own mosque at home to help celebrate Ramadan. He and his family built the structure from cardboard, candy wrappers, and holiday lights. Now, Yahya's mom, Azma, said normally at this time of year, their extended family would be celebrating together, would be going to the mosque for prayers, but says the coronavirus pandemic has really put things into perspective. They, of course, are going to be spending time at home. They're not going to be able to see their extended family. And so what she says is that it's really an opportunity for her son, to really see what they say is the spirit of the month, which is to show gratitude. Reena.
Ah, I love that. Gratitude. I absolutely love that. Imtiaz, Tyab, it will be a very different Ramadan, but I tell you, next year's, I think we'll all be so much more appreciative of so many things out there, especially the
I think
ability
so
to
too.
congregate together in prayer. Thank you, Imtiaz. Grateful you could join us.